You're listening to The Right Side of the Rivers, hosted by Todd McCollum and Russell Dreyer. This show tackles public issues from a Pittsburgh point of view, offering common sense conversations, right-of-center perspectives, and a focus on the people, policies, and principles shaping Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and Pennsylvania.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to The Right Side of the Rivers. This is the official podcast of the City of Pittsburgh Republican Committee, and I am the host and chairman, Todd McCollum, joined by my co-host back in the seat again, Russell. Good to see you again.
Great to be back. I'm actually tonight. I'm filling in for Eileen Cunningham. I was obviously on a little bit of special assignment last week. Most of you may not know, but I do help out in other parts of Allegheny County, and was visiting with some of our eastern communities out in the Woodland Hills School District a couple weeks ago. So it's great to be back in studio, and Eileen did a great job. Thank you to her for sitting in and just boosting our ratings.
Yes, Eileen always does a great job, and but don't sell yourself short. I heard you had a fabulous event for what you had going on out there too. Tell us about it.
We had Woodland Hills Regional Committee. It's a brand new committee. Basically, we are taking all the communities that feed the Woodland Hills School District, combining everybody together and creating one strong regional committee. And I got to tell you, we had about 40 people in the room, and on very short notice, by the way. And folks were just really pumped to see everyone else come out. It's great to see the enthusiasm. The Republican committee in Allegheny County is very strong right now.
Yeah, don't be fooled by what you hear. Registrations are up, and there is some electricity in the party.
A lot of people looking to get involved. Matter of fact, my phone continues to ring. I continue to get messages about, hey, when's our next Woodland Hills meeting? So, and we will be holding regular meetings out there at the Churchill Borough Building. So it was just great.
Excellent.
Great to see all those
40 people. What a fabulous number, man, to start an initial kickoff.
And we had obviously we had Republicans there, but believe me, we have Democrats there that feel like they don't recognize their party anymore. We welcome them, and of course we had the independents there celebrating with us as well. So
good. Very good.
Good
very
stuff.
Good. Well, we had Patrick on with us as the guest last time, and like you said, Eileen did a great job. But we have great guests today for sure.
Yeah, we do.
And let's start with our friend, longtime friend of the committee, and so glad he's here with us today. Finally, seems like it took too long, but Len Iorio with us today.
Eye of the Tiger, Iorio.
How are you
Great.
fellas doing?
Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Len, you are running for County Council District 12.
Correct.
And tell us about how this came about and how it's going.
Wow. Well, it came about with you guys 4 years ago when we all worked on Tony Moreno's campaign together. And we all decided to become committee men, and we decided to join the process of building the committees and precinct project, as we called it back in the day. Actually was originated right across the street from where we sit right now at Jack Wagner's Cousins Bar on Beachview Boulevard here, right? I can't remember the name of it, but that doesn't matter. That was 4 years ago. And now we're running for office because we've decided that enough's enough. I'm running against Bob Palmosina, who's the author of the 36% tax increase. Not only did he write it, he was one of the 10 votes that passed it. And none of this was done with any looking at the budget to determine where cuts could be made, whose staff maybe had 20 people that could go cut down to 5. So that's why I decided to run. I thought I could do good for the community and help people save their homes.
Well, Len, tell us a little bit about District 12. And give us kind of little snapshot of the communities and municipalities. It's quite a map. And we know you come into obviously know you come into the city as well. So
right,
just
and I want to talk about that mainly since this is a city committee broadcast. But yeah, it's a diverse district. The problems that Bridgeville faces are not the same problems that Elliott faces. The blight and just years, decades of being ignored by the city and the county and areas like West End and Elliott, where my mother grew up, where my grandparents' house was, where I slept many nights when I was young, all the way to Bridgeville, Scott Township, Heidelberg, Green Tree, more suburban areas that don't have the blight problems, but they've got crime problems. They've got other issues that they face. So it's an interesting to get into each one of these communities and learn what their needs are has been eye-opening for me.
And you've been out there. You're very active on social media, and you're in all these communities talking.
We did a cleanup in Esplin. People came out of their house. They couldn't believe that someone was actually there to talk to them. They hadn't seen anybody in, I guess, years. So it was really eye-opening.
Yeah, I was with you that day in Esplin, and what a terrible situation that people are actually thanking you for picking up garbage and pulling weeds and
things that their county and city should be doing.
Right, and it wasn't just the off the beaten path streets. It was West Carson Street. It was the main streets down there that suffer the blight, suffer the trash.
That back alley that you and I walked through was just a disgrace.
Right.
I mean, they needed a backhoe to get the stuff out of it.
Right, but then after I broke free from you with you guys, and I was down on West Carson Street, even the build up around all the storm drains and stuff, and I had mentioned that to somebody who stopped and talked to me, and he said, Carson Street covers with water all the time because during a heavy rain, because nobody comes and cleans the storm drains. Right, it's like the city doesn't have a street cleaner.
Well, I tell you, Len, I know that Todd and I have worked in a lot of the districts where you actually come into the city, and probably some of the strongest areas for the working class and certainly Republican presence in the city is in the Overbrook area. The sort of the 51 corridor right in there.
My research director told me Overbrook is key.
Very, very strong precincts, districts in there for Republicans. That overlaps a little bit with City Council District 4 back in those areas there. And we have obviously Tracy Larger running for City Council District 4 back there. So we have a lot of
candidates in
everywhere,
every race. I mean, we've got every race covered, and we're trying to take advantage of this recent swing and people looking at the Republican Party and saying, "Hey, these people aren't crazy. They're actually more aligned to my values than the Democrats," and it's happening, and we're watching it in real time. So hopefully, it's enough.
Well, I think the chairman of our party, Jason Ritchie, would agree with you 100% on that. I know that when he goes out and talks to these regional committees throughout Allegheny County, he says, "Hey, if JFK were alive today, he wouldn't recognize his party." So a lot of people.
I was a Democrat in 2001. I don't recognize the party. I voted for Clinton and Ross Perot one time. When I was a Democrat when I first started voting. I was like, boy, these people don't speak for me anymore.
And that's actually one of the strengths. That's actually one of the strengths of our city committee and of our party right now is the parties have kind of flip-flopped. I think we hear that all the time. We represent the working class and the party of common sense.
For sure. It's good to know that you and I voted for the same president at one time.
Is that right?
The first president I voted for was Ross Perot. I was in college.
Yeah, we knew a businessman's supposed to be in charge a long time before any of these other folks. We knew it was up.
So Len, I'll give you this, and I'll give you a chance to run with this. And we haven't spoke on this particular thing. I was at a Brighton Heights event this past weekend, and I was holding a tent down for the house tour there, and somebody came up to me and started talking to me, and they were from the West End, and I was treading lightly because I was trying to push a lot of candidates at one time here, and then the lady was real nice and said, I said, I'm running not to raise taxes on people myself. And then she said, oh yeah. She said, we can't raise these taxes on older people. And I know that's been a kind of a common theme of your campaign here. And then she said, yeah, I know Bob Palmosina myself. And she said, he's a nice guy. And she clearly did not know that he was the person who orchestrated this tax increase and go.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't know, and you're right. When I started this, I live in Chartiers Valley School District, and they had raised the school taxes six out of the last 6 years, and we got 5 of our school board directors on the school board that 7th year. They made some deals with teachers to retire, and they saved $7 million that first year and didn't have to raise taxes. And the way they did it was with a message of how are seniors going to keep their homes. These are fixed income seniors. They are on Social Security. You've heard the stories of them cutting their medications in half, just taking half a pill a day because they can't afford to take the full pill a day. I mean, how sad is that? And we're funding climate initiatives and DEI initiatives from the county government on the backs of these older people that are cutting pills in half and can't afford their school taxes, their municipal taxes, or now their county taxes. And it's not just the seniors. I'm told Bob Palmosina is a friend of the unions. I got news. Every union member, every hardworking union member got hit with a 36% tax increase.
Well, that's.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, and it really speaks for itself.
And
right
do you
there.
reward them? Do you reward them by voting for them again? That's that's up to you. But
you talked about the diversity of the communities that you're looking to serve and et cetera, et cetera. One thing that they all have in common that none of them need or can afford is a huge tax bill right now.
Nobody can. We should be looking for ways to cut our spending. Every department in the county should have someone look at, do we need 20 employees in this department? Can we get through with just 18? This isn't a business. They're being paid with our tax dollars. That makes it different. If you're a business and you want to hire 20 people instead of 15, and you can afford to do that, then do it. But this isn't a business. This is my tax dollars, and if you should be running more lean than you are, you need to cut costs. And I think everybody lives that way.
And with all the tools that we have, all the technology tools that we have available to us in today's modern age, we need to bring the city and the county, the way that government is run, into the modern digital age. We talked about this, I think, on one of our earlier episodes, that this isn't 1985 anymore.
No, it's not.
There are ways that we can make the county run more efficiently using state-of-the-art technology, using ethical AI.
And even some common sense.
Let's start there, right?
Sarah Enamorato's office, I believe, has
common
20,
sense is pretty inexpensive.
I think Sarah Enamorado has 20 people in her office. 20. I don't think President Trump's got 20 people.
And probably 20% of those people are communications directors.
Likely.
Correct?
I don't know what they are, but a county executive should be able to execute and not need 20 people to help them execute.
Right, and be able to speak for herself in most cases and not
Correct.
Have to run it through 10 different filters before it goes out to the public.
There's waste and fat in that budget, and we need to get my fellow candidate, Mike Dell, who's a CPA. We need to get him in there.
And we're going to bring
Set
Mike
him
in here
loose.
in a
We're gonna talk
second
to him
because he's
soon.
sitting there and he's shaking a little
Mike-
bit. He's flinching,
Mike
waiting
knows
to get
Mike
in.
knows a thing or two about about the accounting practices and where the money is
Exactly.
at the county.
But Len, let's finish up with you here. Tell us about the campaign, how it's going. What are we going to see from you for the next couple weeks here? What are we going to see from you? And then we'll
Wow.
get your social media stuff out here.
Well, let me start with that. Facebook and Instagram, I believe X, I'm Len Iorio for District 12. So you can search and find me there. We just produced a television commercial, which is on my Facebook page and my Instagram page. The plan is to fundraise off of that to try and get some commercials in some of the local sporting events and some high-profile stuff. So things are happening right now. We got the fundraiser on Sunday at Lamont,
Yep.
which is on the cover of what's on my page. It's on the city committee page. That's going to be a great event this Sunday. What a fun time. And Lamont really rolls the carpet out for us. So a lot of good things happening right now. There's less than 30 days. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get it done, man. Let's get it done. Good news is that you will not have to search for anything because five-star producer Missy will
That's
link
right.
everything in the comments below for both the candidates we have here. So we're good with that.
Yeah.
So take a breath. We're going to come back to you here.
All right.
It's always good talking to you.
I
I
got
love
plenty more to
talking to you.
say.
I'm sure we all do, don't we? Don't we? All right, folks. Candidate for District 8 is Mike Dell. And Mike, welcome to the right side of the rivers.
Hi, thank you. This is my first ever podcast live, so if I seem a little nervous, we'll just have to run with it.
No, you're among friends here.
That's
You're
right.
among
All
friends.
No, I
Mike.
appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, great. Well, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Mike Dell. I'm an accountant, a public accountant. We work with, we're going on our 25th year. So we have clients all throughout Western PA, small business owners, large ones, families. We work with hundreds of businesses all around Allegheny County. So I know firsthand what they're going through and the struggles, and we can dive into that a little bit later. And same thing with families. Really, I don't know if you want me to talk about why I'm running, but
The floor is yours. You
Okay,
have use
all right,
your
good,
chance to tell
good.
the world about yourself.
well, in 2007 I was elected to Plum Borough Council, and I was the finance chair for 8 years, and I really have to say I enjoyed it. A lot of people don't like to get into politics or government accounting, but I really enjoyed it because you really got an understanding for where your tax dollars come from and then how it's spent throughout the community. And you really develop that good understanding, and you can communicate that with clients, and you can communicate that with the residents of, is this proper way to spend? What's our priorities? What's not? So that was my focus for 8 years. And we ran surpluses. We did have to have a little tweaking of taxes now and then, but we would communicate, hey, we need more police officers. We need better public safety. And the public was with us 100%. So if you do need a small tax increase, you got to communicate where that money's going. And I can assure you some of the accounting policies and procedures we did back in 2007, 8, 9 are still active today in Plum Borough. So I really have to say it's a great group of people that are on Plum Council right now. I know all of them personally, and they're doing just a super job. So you're sort of bringing business and government together, and that's the way it should be.
What
All right.
what's the lay of the land like for County Council District 8? Because we were just talking
Yeah.
to Lenny a little bit about
Right.
sort of the lay of the land there. Tell us about the communities that County 8 includes.
So District 8 starts in Plum, Monroeville, Pitcairn, Turtle Creek, North Versailles, and ends at Swissvale. So it's sort of a curve.
So you got a few Woodland Hills.
Yes, school
Communities.
districts.
School district
Yeah,
communities there. Yep.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So a lot of people don't realize what happens downtown in the city of Pittsburgh really affects us in the suburbs. And we want to go see a ball game. We want to go downtown and go see a play. Go to a nice restaurant on Mount Washington. So hey, a lot of people from the suburbs enjoy coming to the city of Pittsburgh, but lately there's been some issues that we can talk about.
Yeah, you described District 8. How have you been working it? How have you been out on doors? You handling it by mail?
A couple things. Social media. We've been posting a lot of, obviously I'm a finance guy, so if I go to someone's house, I'm not going to be able to rip out all the charts and graphs. But, through Missy and Chris, who's my campaign consultant, we've been able to communicate really the financial trouble that Allegheny County is in. And, for me, it's easy to understand, but to communicate that and people really understand what is coming down the pike, unless we make some quick changes, it will affect everybody, not only in this county, but outside the county too. So Western PA is really, downtown Pittsburgh is the hub of economic growth. So if you're stagnant here, it affects everybody in the outlining area.
For sure.
So
And we heard this back in 2023 when we had one of the best candidates for county executive in the modern era with Joe Rocky.
Yeah.
He talked a lot. For me, you and he are similar with this economic message that you bring, and you sort of get into the nuts and bolts of the county budget, and I think a lot of people that sort of escapes your everyday voter.
Right.
So it's good that you're coming back to that with your campaign. Now, in terms of your county and your strategy, is there do you have an idea of what the total universe of votes looks like out there for you and the candidate that you're running against, and where you can make some inroads in different communities where you think you're strong?
Well, believe it or not, I think it's going to be a very decent turnout, especially out in the suburbs for this race, because I think people have just had enough. So if you think about your paycheck, over 50% of your income is gone to some sort of taxes. So we no longer have the luxury to sit back and relax and let government do what they want to do anymore. Everyone has to get involved in some way or another, whether it's school board, council, mayor, county. We just no longer have that luxury of just letting things ride anymore. It's getting so out of control that I'm getting calls, texts, emails weekly. Hey, what can I do? How can I get involved? And it's rather surprising. And majority of the people I'm getting right now seem to be Democrat voters that, I can't publicly come out and tell you, but you got my vote, you got my whole family's vote. They just have had enough. And
that's a key for all of us
It
here
is.
in the city and the county. We need a certain percentage of crossover voters. So that's but hey, these kind of issues, these issues that you're bringing up, these issues that Lenny that Lenny has brought up, this isn't a Republican. These aren't Republican or Democrat issues. These are working family issues, common sense issues that all constituents can get behind. So. Yeah, that's great. Now I know Monroeville too is kind of an area that that is an important part of your district in terms of vote. What are you seeing in the Monroeville area?
Well, Plum we think of as a bedroom community, a lot of neighborhoods, great school districts. And Monroeville, we think of more of the business community. We got Route 22, we have Macy's, Dick's, all the major anchors. There's going to be a big mall renovation here in a few years with the help of Monroeville Council. But that is the business hub, plus it's also the intersection for the turnpike. So the Monroeville Convention Center has a number of events. I try to be involved as much as I can with the Monroeville Chamber of Commerce. It's one of the largest commerce around here. And, but, when businesses close in Monroeville, it really snowballs throughout the area. So, okay, now I can't go to the mall anymore. Well, now I'm going to buy online. So that affects the business privilege tax in Monroeville and the services that they offer. So, keeping Monroeville in the business district growing and competitive is really important.
Yeah, I'm sure it hurts all the service industries too, where you go
Right.
out and you're doing a shop and, oh, hey, I'm running late. I'm getting kind of hungry here.
Right.
You don't want to go to the grocery store hungry, so you drive through McDonald's. If you're not going to those stores, now you're not going to McDonald's, and that, like you said, that does trickle down.
Yeah.
I assume that you feel that keeping the convention center in Monroeville was a big deal, right?
Oh yeah, a lot of good events there, gun bashes, a lot of craft shows, a lot of different events. I think every week, several times a month, they have different events going on. So yeah.
Mike, speaking of events, I know that you recently had an event. Was that Plum and Pugliano's?
Yeah, Pugliano's Restaurant with Joe Rocky and Brian Westmantle. And boy, what a turnout. I mean, it was a tremendous turnout for the public to come out, both Plum and Monroeville. We even had some people outside District 8 that couldn't even vote for me. They could vote for Brian, but it was, and then the sponsors too. Hey, sorry, can't make it. Let me send a check in for you. So I think we made more in the sponsors than we did in attendance. So,
and what do you have? Did I see maybe there's something coming up at a fire hall?
Yes,
soon?
On the 14th, October 14th, Brian and I, plus the Monroeville candidates for school board and council, we're all doing a joint event at Monroeville Fire Hall number 4 from 6 to 8. It's a free event. We're not asking for any donations. We're going to have snacks, drinks. And then we're going to really dive in. I'm going to have the big board out there of really what's happening with the county finances. So there's going to be some upset people when they leave.
So that's Monday, October 14th. Is that right?
I don't think it's a Monday.
Maybe it's a Tuesday?
Tuesday, yeah. Tuesday, October
Tuesday,
14th.
yeah, because they're
Tuesday,
that's right.
October 14th.
Tuesday,
Next
October
week. Yeah,
14th.
next week. Yeah.
Tuesday,
So
October
it's a
14th.
free event, 6 to 8. Please come on out, ask questions. Well, Brian and I will both have a nice presentation. He's going to talk about public safety and how things affect Monroeville, and we have to keep that a very safe community. And I'm going to dive into a little bit of the county finances and really what's coming down the pike that's not going to be good.
And what's the venue again, Mike?
That's at the Monroeville Fire Hall number 4. So it's right off Mosside Boulevard. Really nice facility. I mean, it's first class. So
Great. And I had the honor of being out there with you at
right. You
your
were there.
event
Yeah,
as
thank you
well,
for
and
coming.
it was great. Pugliano's is a great restaurant.
Yeah.
I've been there for many events. So we ask that if you're in that area, please frequent that establishment. They're very friendly to us. They're great service, great food there all the time. Tell us about, well, let me circle back for 1 second, because you said you started out with this in running for Plum Council.
Right.
What was the spark for that, if there was one?
The spark was really just trying to get involved in the community a little bit more. Our kids were starting to go through college, so we're getting out of the public school, and area, and we wanted to be. I personally wanted to be more involved in the community, and really give my financial background to help Plum really keep the gear wheels moving, keep the budget in line, keep taxes in line, and really focus on public safety, infrastructure. Those are the two things that I really focused on, and make sure they had the funding, and let the professionals run their departments as they see fit.
Okay. Tell us about your social media and your website and all those things that five-star producer Missy's going to link below here.
Sure, yes. Dell and the number 4 council8.com is our website. So if you want to get involved, be a volunteer, work the polls, help us do door-to-door, that's a great place to get signed up. Social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff with Missy and her team back there. So I appreciate everything, because I don't even know how to use Instagram. So it's definitely a big help. And when you need help, they've come through.
And I know you have a big party representative out there in Chairman Steve Slouch.
Oh man,
Steve's great.
This
Yeah.
guy,
Go ahead. Feel free. We have to plug the Plum Committee.
This
Absolutely.
guy, I've never seen anybody work harder for the Republican Party than this guy. He is, from signs to calls to getting people involved. The Plum Republican Committee is probably one of the largest committees in Allegheny County. And it's because of Steve and Dave Majernik's hard work that they really excite the people and want to get involved. People are running now that never thought of running before, and they're out recruiting all the time. So they're doing
Plum,
a super.
and Plum is an area that Republicans win,
Yes,
even though we may not have a majority
exactly.
of voters out there. You have Democrats that outnumber
Right.
us in Plum, but the Republicans in Plum know how to get the job done,
Right.
and people respond to that.
They do. They do. They appreciate the hard work, not only from the committee, but the elected officials, and they reward them by voting for them. So yeah, definitely great. And you can sense the wave is now coming into Monroeville. The committee out there in Monroeville, I'll tell you, these people are hustling out
and
there.
That was
door.
no slight at the Monroeville Committee.
Oh
but,
yeah, but you
Steve
could
was
sense
very
the
helpful to me
wave
and
coming down, and also to Woodland
Hills,
Hills.
they're ready to
It
go.
is, and then it's slowly getting right down here in the city of Pittsburgh.
we're
So
working on
it's
it.
not so much the Republican Party, but just doing the right thing and sticking with the rules, keep taxes in line, and leave us alone. That's it.
It's amazing to me and
Yeah.
and some of the people that are working on my committee and I've actually told them or they're helping me with my campaign how easily the term doing the right thing
Right.
rolls off their tongue.
Yeah.
It just and I'm very glad to be working with people like that, and I'm proud to be on the slate with you and Len, and man, let's, like you said, let's go. Let's get it done. Let's bring.
If I could just say one more thing.
Sure thing.
Absolutely, you can.
You know, we now have an opportunity like we've never had before. We could actually take the majority of county council. And a lot of people are not talking about that. I did ask RCAC, I'm willing to pay for a full page ad. We have got to communicate this to the public, that this is our golden opportunity to get Len, everybody, on board with county council. And we could really, all I'm asking for is one term to really turn this ship around. And you will see growth and public safety like you've never seen before.
Well, let's
For
just
sure.
stick
Yeah.
with that if we can, just
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have maybe all three of these candidates paint the picture a little bit. There are 15. Well, there are 13 county council districts, and then there are 2 at-large districts. So we have 15 county council representatives. How many Republicans need to? Because right now we have 2 Republicans out of 15. We have Mike Ambrescia and we have Susan Falagi. So how many Republicans do we need to elect to be able to be a firewall and stop the madness that's happening with the county executive?
Well, if all of us win, we'll have an 8 to 7 majority.
But at minimum, we need 4 plus Mike. 4 plus Mike gives us 6. You need a 2/3 majority to pass reassessments or tax increases. That's a 10-5 vote. So 9-6 isn't good enough. If we get 4 of us, if Mike, myself, Todd, and pick one, along with Mike and Brazia, we can stop any tax increase for 4 years. Well, as long as Suzanne wins 2 years from now.
Right.
Then we'll have a full slate for that. We'll have 7.
We'll have a great story
We'll
to
have
tell.
7. We'll have 8 running
Right.
right now. We'll
In-
have 7 running in 2 years.
In
right?
2 years, we'll have a county executive race that will lift
Exactly.
all
In
the
27,
bodies there.
yeah.
This is the beginning of what could be, with just 4 plus Mike, gives us the stopgap and puts an accountant on council that can look through this budget and say, wait a minute, this is where the waste is. This is where we need to cut. Again, if you want to fund climate initiatives, write a check. I'll give you a list of NGOs you can send a check to. Write a check for 10 grand and send it to them. County government should not be funding this.
Right.
Period. As one example.
Well, Mike. That's a really important point. I'm glad that you circled back to that. And yeah, the public needs to know that this sort of off-year election, right, is probably one of the most important
Could be one of
elections
the biggest
for Allegheny County.
for sure.
I think it's the biggest in recent years. Absolutely.
So let's move on to some topics, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. We had a mayor debate last night,
We sure did.
and well, Len, go ahead. Give us your thoughts. You saw it.
Excuse me. I explained earlier that I got my start in politics working on Tony Moreno's campaign. So I've been, even though I don't live in the city, I've been privy to city politics for 4 years now. And one of the things that got me into politics, ironically, is Bill Peduto was my student class president at Chartiers Valley in 1983. Student class president. And when he said, if you don't like the homeless problem, shop at the malls.
I think we
I
all
hit
remember
the-
that.
Oh,
we all remember that.
As an ad
Infamous.
agency owner, I thought to myself, if I had a retail client down in downtown Pittsburgh, I would have been waiting outside his door on Monday morning for him to get to work. Because how in the world could the mayor of Pittsburgh say something like that? Now, Bill's a good enough guy, but he screwed up there big time. We need to bring business back into the city. So the mayor's race, Bill Peduto and Corey O'Connor spearheaded the Defund the Police program in 2020. And before I go another step on this, do yourself a favor and Google O'Connor Defund Police. And the first article that pops up, read it. And it shows where they took it says 9, I think the number was closer to $10 million per year since 2020 away from the police training budget. Now, we don't have enough police right now. Why? There's no training. It's been on all over the news. Well, why is there no training? There's no training because Corey O'Connor is part of a 6-3 vote, voted to defund that $10 million a year away from the police training budget and into, ironically enough, stop the violence. That's where it went, to stop the violence. I'm not even going to go into that, how ridiculous that is. So when Corey O'Connor last night on national TV with his smug little face, shaking his head that Tony was lying, he's absolutely not lying. Corey O'Connor was this part of a 6-3 vote to defund those police officers, and people should know that. He lied to your face on KDKA TV. So that's my take on the debate last night.
Well, it was, I don't know where it was on. I was watching it. I was streaming it.
KDKA Plus,
It was on KDK+.
which is the old CW.
But yeah, I watched it from start to finish, and all of us know that Tony Moreno knows public safety front to back and in his sleep. And certainly the topic du jour is public safety. And
In Pittsburgh, it better be.
You cannot have, and Tony has been talking about this for a number of years, you cannot have a functional city if you do not have appropriate public safety.
I'm a big guy. I don't go there. I go for a concert, and I don't even like to do that because I got to leave myself unarmed. And I try not to.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem.
I go to Star Lake and what I did what Bill Peduto asked me to do. I go to Star Lake and watch a concert. I go to the malls instead.
That is the biggest problem, getting from your car to the venue where you're getting to, and you don't know what jumps off, whether it's a crowd, unruly crowd,
idea.
or you just get caught in some crossfire.
And again,
like
there's
this happened.
300 to 600 police officers short by depending on who you ask. 3 is the smallest number. I've heard as much as 6, and you just cannot run a functioning city with a police force that's down by 600 officers or even 300 officers.
Or think about it, excuse me, think about it this way. We have 90 neighborhoods in the city.
Right.
We have about 200 officers that are on patrol. So you're lucky if you can get 2 officers in every neighborhood.
And then they cut the night patrol. The car that drove through the smoke shop on Brookline Boulevard, I was there the next day talking to the owner. He didn't speak a lot of English, but I tried to talk to the owner. They drove a car through the front of that building and then took about a half an hour to take the money out of the ATM. Nobody showed up. But there's no problem.
It's ridiculous.
And Corey O'Connor didn't defund the police, as long as we're all clear on that. Come on.
Mike, your district doesn't come into the city, but you've acknowledged the importance of the city as the hub of the county. Your thoughts on public safety in Pittsburgh itself?
Well, at least from the suburb point of view, I feel as though we have been in this social experiment for decades, and we can't get out of it. We have the cost of doing business in the city of Pittsburgh is so outrageous. So if you think about a bar owner just in the South Side, they're not getting the public safety that they need. They have to hire city of Pittsburgh to come in after hours to patrol the restaurants. So if I can't name the names, but one of their biggest costs is security in just to keep their restaurant open and keep their patrons. Yet they're paying sales tax, they're paying liquor tax, they're paying real estate tax, payroll taxes. So why do they also have to pay for security to keep the South Side safe? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you got $300, are you going to go and have dinner in the South Side? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, and pay for parking, but
Right.
No.
Right.
The answer to that question is no.
Right.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to pick up on that a little bit. I know that one of the questions that did come up in the debate last night was this idea of National Guard, if you will, or bringing, some of the things that the Trump administration is doing in other cities where, the crime rate is really, really out of control. And I think, I think Tony had, again, the best answer there. He said, "Well, we can take care of it. If we prioritize public safety, we don't need to ask for help." And I know that a couple shows prior to this, we had Brian Wisemantle in here. Brian's our candidate for sheriff, and I know Brian talked about the ability of the Allegheny County sheriffs and their sheriffs to actually come in as auxiliary support and help where it's needed. So when you prioritize public safety, you don't need the National Guard to come in. When the National Guard comes in, you've lost the footing
to enforce the rules. Right now, what people don't understand is the Gainey administration tells the Pittsburgh police not to get involved in anything that isn't a crime. And they don't consider being strung out on drugs, doing a dance in the middle of the street, a crime. It's not a crime anymore. The crimes of poverty, crimes of drug abuse, those aren't crimes anymore. They're not treated like crimes. And they used to be. So the police would come and they would take the guy and put him in cuffs and put him in the back of the car and take him somewhere where he can get help. Instead, they leave him in the street. And the pregnant lady that died in a tent down in the bike path, she died there because the police weren't allowed to go and knock on the tent and say, hey, are you okay? They didn't get to make a relationship with that woman. They didn't know if her name was Sarah or Susan. And they could have said, hey, Susan, are you all right? And they're, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for checking on me. Wasn't allowed. We got to get back to policing, actual policing first, and then the rest of it will solve itself.
Aggravated assault is not a crime.
No,
in
not if
downtown
there's
Pittsburgh.
no police report written.
There's
no crime.
Just not that long ago, there's a chiropractor. I believe he's on Liberty Avenue downtown. He was assaulted, and
friend of mine who's a dentist had moved he was on Smithfield Street. His office looked right down on the hot dog shop. Yeah. Couldn't have been in a worse place in the world. He's over in the strip district now.
And you know what?
And the cost he had to move his business, to move a dentist office, all that equipment.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And our brave men and women in uniform, they want to serve and protect.
They do want to serve.
They do. But
they want to serve.
Their hands are tied, and it's a shame.
They didn't
and that's
sign,
what people don't understand. They think it's, it is a lack of police officers. We do need police officers. But if they just let the current police officers do their job, you'd see instant results.
Yeah, they didn't sign up to sit on the sidelines for sure.
And watch some guy twirling around in the middle of an intersection to get hit by a car. And then they're allowed to respond. I mean, come on.
And the thought that I had bouncing around in my head when I locked up for a second, because we were talking about the South Side, is that businesses are being voluntold to shut down in hours that they don't want to shut down. And again, that's a situation where, hey, we can't protect you in the streets, and so we need you to shut down.
Right.
And that shouldn't be the case. That's not how people should do business. That's not how they signed up to do business.
One of the things we have in common is that Mike and I are both businessmen, and business drives the country. Business provides jobs. Jobs are what raises all the ships. And you can't run a business in the climate right now in downtown Pittsburgh. And the people that are heroes. I mean, they are true heroes.
I'm in a few running clubs, and I will say at least last year, it's a shame you're doing the Millvale Trail on the North Shore and you see needles on the side of the road or encampments.
It's unacceptable.
Or you just smelling the pot that is just in the air. I mean, we can't have this. So it's funny that it's an election year, so they move the people from the North Shore down to the South Shore.
Right.
And so you see the tents all along the river. And we, in our groups, warn women, do not jog alone. It's just not safe for them to be alone.
Well, guys, I've got news. The governor was here a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
He was standing with Sarah and Alvarado, and he said downtown Pittsburgh is fine. There are no problems in downtown Pittsburgh.
He didn't talk to the guy that I talked to today, I can tell you that.
So
he lives in a house with a gate around it, right?
Let's just put it into focus a little bit, the judgment of the governor. Because we can actually go back and say that Governor Shapiro is the person that got us into this situation in the first place when he endorsed Sarah and Alvarado for county executive. She had no business whatsoever running this county.
No.
He stood beside her.
No.
He put his arm around her. That is either hyper-partisanship or bad judgment. And the combination of those two things is really taking our county and our city in the wrong way. So when he comes in here and tells us that downtown Pittsburgh is fine, the BS meters just went off all across Allegheny County, and people are keeping score.
He endorsed Gainey. Shapiro endorsed Gainey 4 years ago I'm not surprised. He endorsed Innamorato. My opponent, Bob Palmosina, endorsed Innamorato. They do what they're told to keep their jobs. Because if they don't vote for Innamorato, if they don't endorse Innamorato, they'll run a socialist up against them and they'll be bounced in the next primary.
It's funny, I did a little research before I came here. And do you realize the vacancy in downtown Pittsburgh? We're exceeding 20% of empty office space. And if you just do a search, I did it on LoopNet, it shows just in the little geographic area over 462 commercial properties for sale. And office spaces for lease exceeded 460. I mean, these aren't just small little offices. These are floors.
What was that area? What was the area that
I just looked at 3 mile radius from downtown.
Okay.
So, Mike, I think the translation here is
people don't want to come downtown.
Well,
right.
but in terms of taxes and what we're running on here,
right?
We were hit with a 36% tax increase last year. It sounds to me like there's probably another. Now they released the budget and they said they were going to hold the line, but that is probably because we're in election year.
Anybody that believes that, I got a bridge to sell you.
And there's probably a lot more of that coming, Mike. Would that make sense to you?
Oh, well, okay, so they held the taxes, but what's coming next year are the reassessments. So that's where they're going to get us, as those reassessments. So what's happening in downtown Pittsburgh, like you talked about, the crime, the value of the properties is coming down. So that tax shortfall is coming out to the suburbs. And people don't realize that in Upper St. Clair or Mount Lebanon, that what happens downtown affects everybody in this county. And when we can't maintain businesses and we can't get these buildings filled with people, that liability is coming our way. Because the government is not cutting costs. So don't be fooled about that. They love to spend.
Unless we all get in.
Right.
That's the only way.
But the current administration,
they're not going to cut anything.
They're not going to cut anything.
Well, go ahead. I'll give you one line. Len, you want to take the last word on the budget, or because we're
just like I said, I just hope we get 4 plus Mike, and one of those 4 is Mike Dell, so we can look at the budget line by line, detail by detail, and really just strip the whole thing down and see where we can cut costs and keep. And again, so it's not on the backs of seniors that are going to lose their homes over this stuff. It's not. This isn't. A game. These people are losing the home that they grew up in. So that's my last word.
All right. That sounds great. Well, we're getting the cue here.
Okay.
To wrap it up.
Wrap it up. That was a great.
It was. We could have did this
spent
for
another half hour
we could be here for hours. Yeah.
Easily.
There's lots to talk about.
Tell everybody about our social media, if you would.
Folks, if you'd like to continue to follow us, and our 5-star producer Missy will have some reels and some clips for you about the show and about what we're doing and about some events we have coming up. Please follow us at PGH GOP Committee. That's PGH GOP Committee on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Todd, show number 7.
Yeah. We're Mike, one more time, promote your fire hall event.
Oh, yes. Monroeville Fire Hall number 4, Mosside Boulevard, next Tuesday from 6 to 8. It's a free public event. You can meet all the Monroeville candidates, plus Brian and myself. We'll answer questions, and we're really going to dive into the budget and show you where this $146 million went. You're not going to be happy about it.
I saw all the graphs and charts that Pagliano's, and people are going to be surprised.
Right.
People are going to be surprised. We didn't even get to that
we didn't even get to the good
miscellaneous line there, and my opponent seems to deny that.
Non-departmental expenses. We didn't even touch on that yet.
Yes. So if you want to learn more about the budget, come out with Mike out in Monroeville. Len, Mike, Brian, Mary Jo, Wise, and some others will be, and some city candidates as well, will be at the Lamont on Sunday. Why don't you
It's going to be a fun time. It's not, again, it's $75 for 2 drink tickets and food and all the food you can eat. It's going to be a blast. Please come.
Yeah, and it's not going to be all politics all night.
No.
It's not going to be stuffy, politics. We're going to have some music. We're going to have some good talk. We're going to have some laughs. And
that's Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Monday's a Columbus Day, so everybody has off.
Right.
Okay, so come out to the Lamont Sunday night, October 12th, and enjoy a little bit of politics and a little bit of fun with some common sense candidates.
Do have to emphasize about that is we do need a head count, so sooner rather than later. Missy will link that in below as well. It's on all our pages. There is a little urgency to getting that in, so we have a good, reasonably close number of who's going to show up. So we encourage everybody to come out, meet their candidates, and spend some time with us. Russell, once again, it is always a pleasure. Mike, Len, always pleasure, honor to be with you guys. So we're going to wrap it up. This is the official podcast of the City of Pittsburgh Republican Committee, and we call it The Right Side of the Rivers. Everybody be well for 2 weeks, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks again.
Thanks for tuning in to The Right Side of the Rivers. We appreciate you spending your time with us as we talk about the issues that matter to Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and beyond. Be sure to visit us online at pittsburghrepublicans.com for more updates, events, and ways to get involved. And don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on X, Facebook, and Instagram at PGHGOP Committee. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay on the right side of the rivers.